why you need to expand in Europe and why this is it's a good option for you. So
no importing, no exporting, everything is done through the
I mean,
API, so everything
exactly. USA is target number one. Europe is the second. We introduce you to our customs partner who specialize in helping e-commerce companies. So you're asking, okay, but how can I sell to the rest of Europe? So here is the solution.
HelloTax provides you the time that you need instead of spending that time trying to figure out what to do with your VAT. Welcome to Power Your E-commerce Business, the go-to series for busy entrepreneurs like you. So are you thinking of expanding your Amazon business or your e-commerce business into Europe? Fortunately, Amazon has several marketplaces all across Europe with millions of customers waiting for you to sell your product. Now, one very tough situation is, well, which marketplace should you sell in? And should you sell in all of them? And should you register in all of them? And how exactly do you register? That's why in this episode of Power Your E-commerce Business, we're featuring HelloTax. The idea behind Power Your E-commerce Business, this weekly series, is to help you and empower you and showcase companies that are able to provide you services that can help you power your e-commerce business and expand your e-commerce business. All of the partners that we recommend in this series are partners that myself, Amazon Sellers Society, we have a relationship with and we are partnered with already. And these episodes are not sponsored and not paid for. They are all just to give you some important information so you can expand your business. So in this episode, you're gonna meet Nick, who is the partnership manager in HelloTax. So Nick, as you know, most people selling on Amazon in the Middle East, of course, they have a vision of expanding their e-commerce and their Amazon empire. And one of the places is Europe. But Europe is very different to the Middle East, especially when it comes to things like taxes. Thank you so much for being part of this Power Your E-commerce episode, because we're going to be talking about how to properly expand and what taxes and all of that. But before we start talking about all of that, please introduce yourself and let everybody know about HelloTax a little bit more.
Okay, thank you, Crystal. And I would like to tell everybody that Crystal is the best partner so far. I'm just talking with her because she's just charging me with energy. So it's pleasure to talk, even live or offline, it doesn't matter. So just to introduce myself, I'm Nick Penef. I'm the partnership manager of HelloTax, which is a company which provides VAT compliance and registrations and filing for e-commerce and in specifically Amazon sellers. So, and I used to be an e-commerce seller myself for 10 years. I started in 2010. And I used to sell health supplements across Europe. I'm originally from Bulgaria, so I started from here and expanded to whole Europe. So I know from experience that it's really hard to scale and expand in Europe, even though I was in the European Union. And a year ago, I sold my brands, and I was already a client of HelloTax. So the co-founders told me, okay, Nick, we would like somebody to develop our partnership ecosystem. And I've been selling my supplements with partnerships and affiliates for like 5 years. So that was natural for me. The company was fully remote and I have been fully remote since 2010. So it was a perfect match for me. And I started doing that last year. And the one thing that I figured out from the beginning is that the most valuable information and like commodity in the e-commerce or Amazon is education. Because if people don't know what to do, they don't do anything. So this is the first thing what they start doing, educating partners, clients, because if you have the proper information, you can make the right decisions. And this is why we're talking with Crystal today, because like she said, you start in your home country, like UAE or whatever in the Middle East, or in general, everywhere around the world. And of course, the goal for everybody is to sell cross-border, meaning to expand outside of your home country. And of course, USA is target number one. Europe is the second, like option to start
For
with.
sure.
And of course, Europe, there's like European Union has like 26 countries, different jurisdictions, different languages, so it's complicated. But the thing is, this what I know from partners and other company industry, Europe is really hard to start, but once you establish yourself, then it's a long-term revenue, meaning that it's not as competitive as the States, meaning that once you start selling and scale across Europe, it could be a long-term revenue stream for you. And for that specific reason, we have developed a package, and it's a coincidence, but actually we're launching that from tomorrow, which is September 1st. So it's perfect timing with Crystal to do that. So the idea is to make it easy, because if you go to Europe and if you don't know, you might make the wrong decision. So we know how it works, because this is what we're doing. The company was established by Amazon sellers. So it's not like a regular accounting company. It's a VAT solution built and tailored for Amazon sellers. So the idea is to make it as easy as possible. So just to let you know what we're doing, from tomorrow, because the main idea is to help you start selling in Europe, because you need to establish yourself in one country, because if you don't do that, you cannot start. So you need to start from somewhere. And of course, the idea is to start as easy as possible and as quick as possible. So let me share my screen just to show you exactly. So expansion to Europe, like we discussed, that's the goal of everybody after you've expanded outside of your home country. So, and of course, this is package specific for non-EU sellers, because for EU companies, it's really easy. You're already part of the EU. So there is nothing special there. So why, you need to expand in Europe, and why this is, it's a good option for you. What are the actual blockers, stopping you from doing that? Of course, what is the solution? And of course, you need to make the next step. Like we say in Bulgaria, you can take the horse to the river, but you cannot make them drink. So we with Crystal, we can only educate you, but you guys need to be proactive and make the next step. Because if you don't make any steps, you would not know if you would succeed or not. So
100%.
So why now you should expand to Europe? Obviously, it's a huge revenue growth there. You have like 400 million new customers and 27 new countries, which is a big market. So it's a no-brainer. It's a lot of customers who could be your clients as well. The idea, of course, is to have your brand in your home country to become a global one. And this is the way to go, to expand to the biggest markets like States in Europe. And of course, competitors, they're not sleeping. So if you're not doing that, some of your competitors either considering or they're already doing that. So you need to either do what they do or just overtake them and do it first. So as simple as that. What are the actual blockers, or I guess the most important blocker? So language barrier is the first thing. And the second thing is dealing with the VAT and the
100%.
customs. Exactly. So language barrier, Crystal and I have some mutual great partners, and I'm sure she has more and I have a lot. So this is part of the package. We help you to connect with one of the best companies who've been doing that for 10 years plus, who can help with the translation, because that is important. If you don't have proper translations, you look funny, people will not buy, they laugh at you. So it's simple as that. And VAT is the part that we do, which is similar to the sales tax in the USA. So what we do for you, there is a lot of countries in Europe, but Germany is the best place to start. So what we do there, we have a customs partner. So we introduce you to our customs partner who specialize in helping e-commerce companies. So what they do, they help you establish the so-called IORI number, which is like a registration number to import goods. They help you with the import. And once you do that, then we do the second step. We do the VAT registration for you, and we do it with Germany. And you will say, okay, why? Why Germany? Because Germany, first, is the second Amazon market after the States. It's a central location in Europe. And
most people think the UK is the second.
Yes, it was, or it might have been before Brexit.
No, actually, Germany has been the second for a couple of years, but yeah.
Yeah, and right now, UK, because after Brexit, a lot of UK sellers are flooding to Germany. So the Germany is the place to start. They're the biggest market, they're central location in Europe. So this is the first part of the equation. So you're covered with the customs, you covered with the VAT registration because you need that to import your stock. And then the next thing is now you're asking, okay, but how can I sell to the rest of Europe? So here is the solution. This is the so-called OSS, or one-stop shop registration. By doing the one-stop shop registration, you're allowed to store the goods in Germany, either Amazon AFB or any other storage, and then you can deliver and you can do B2C sales and deliver to the rest of the Europe. And you do it with one registration, you do one monthly VAT filing report and one quarterly one-stop shop filing report, meaning that you're established and you can start selling in Europe. So this is the most important part, because once you do that, you have access to all these people across Europe, and you can start selling, your products, and you can see how your sales are going, let's say in Spain, how they're going in France, how they're going in UK, how they're going in Sweden, whatever.
And wherever you want to move to, you can then
exactly. Yeah. And once you see that your sales are great, let's say in France, then the next natural things comes. Now you need to establish storage there so you can do like quicker deliveries, cheaper, etc. But the idea is, the solution that we have is to make it easy to establish yourself.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the second part, the one-stop shop registration, is to allow you to sell across Europe, so we can test, we can like A, B, C, D, G, testing all the markets and see which one is good for you, without investing too much in doing like multiple VAT registrations, because bureaucracy, it always falls down the growth. So the idea is to be as simple as possible. So perfect. This is not how it works. This is something we start from September, because the idea is to help e-commerce sellers to grow. Because if you guys don't grow, we don't grow. So the industry needs to expand and become better and better. So obviously, what are the next steps? Crystal is a partner with us already. So if you guys are watching her, just get in touch with her and she'll connect you with us, because we have like account consultants, and we have consultants who speak English, German, Turkish, Arabic. So they can consult you, they can let you know about the next step. What the other things that we do? What just Crystal is doing? Education, information, all about the next step, because this is just a general overview. It's really easy to start like that, but of course you need to make the next step. Yeah. And just to show something visual besides the presentation, how the actual tool looks like. So let's say you've registered here, and the next thing that you need to do is, of course, you have the registration, but you need to start selling, and of course you need to be VAT compliant. So this is how it looks like. So let's say you've done the registration in Germany, you have the one-stop shop, you already have your stock in Amazon, and you started selling. So you say, okay, what about my filing, reporting? So this is how it works. We just keep the login email, like login and password part, and this is what to do. You come to our dashboard, you go to integration settings, you put your seller ID, authorization token, save, and that's it. We get all the data from Amazon, so we don't need to worry about anything at this stage. So
no importing, no exporting, everything is done through the API. So everything
exactly. Import, you would need to do imports if you do any other sales outside of Amazon.
Yes.
And soon we'll have Shopify, BigCommerce, Cdiscount, Kaufland, and other major marketplaces. We have a bundle which are integrating right now. But in general, since Amazon is the major one, you don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
This is some dummy data, but this is how it looks like. Gross turnover, net turnover, total VAT. This is the VAT, the tax that you need to pay to the tax authorities. You can filter by Amazon FBA on web shop. If you have one, you can filter by countries, by period. You can see the orders that we get from this report, from the API sale, expense, refund given, refund received, assets movement. You can filter by channels, by VAT country, and we file the report for the VAT monthly, for the one-stop shop quarterly. And this is the next thing that you need to do. After we do the filing and we do the return, we do the report, the next thing we do is we publish your VAT report here for one or more countries. In this case, it will be one report for the VAT and one report for the one-stop shop. So what to do here? You come, you download the PDF, and you pay that in the file, because we're not actually allowed to do it on your behalf. So you need to do it yourself. So that's the next thing. And one thing which is very helpful, because I assume each one of you would have an accountant or somebody who is dealing with that. So for them, we have this tool, Tax Letter Inbox. We have a translation tool which gets the emails or letters from the tax authorities, and we translate them in English, in German, so you will know exactly what is the status,
what they're saying,
or exactly what they're saying.
So just to clarify, if I'm selling in Germany, obviously the tax authority is going to contact me in German. Instead of me trying to figure out what the letter says, you're going to automatically translate to me to my preferred language, which is English.
Exactly, depending on what you can have it in English, the software, or in German. So, but that will be general. And this is from Spanish, Italian, French, all the markets that we cover. And the next thing, of course, once you started selling, can you see that you're doing great in certain markets? So the next thing you do, you come here, and you can, this is just the demo, but you cannot see it, but you can add and request registrations for other markets, like here before.
Like you said, if I want to move, if I see like my sales are doing very well in Italy, and I want to move like officially to Italy, I can just do that.
Exactly, you click here, you add that, then you know one of the account managers, and it's done, and that's it. So as simple as that. I mean, like I said, I mean, the solution is done to be easy, not to be hard, and it is not like, because there is a lot of accounting companies, and I know that because I used to be business owner. You know, my tax advisor, you know, we had companies in like Cyprus, in Hong Kong, in Malta. We're just communicating over email. We've been overcharged, and then they made some mistakes for which we paid penalties. So having like a unified solution is always a good thing, because I mean, you know, the tax authority doesn't care. Did you make the mistake? Did your tax authority? They don't care. So having one point of failure is always better option. Because otherwise, I mean, you need to have like tax advisors in each market, which would be costly and of course harder to manage. So,
Nick, I'm sure you get this question a lot, because somebody who's starting out wants to try to reduce the costs as much as possible of expanding. But all of that, everything that HelloTax and all of the, you know, what HelloTax provides is not just the service, in my opinion, but of course, everybody can decide on their own. But in my opinion, HelloTax provides you the time that you need. Instead of spending that time trying to figure out what to do with your VAT, you can spend it at a, you know, a more productive
yeah, of
work.
course. I'm running the partnerships. I'm not a tax expert.
Yes.
What I do is I always explain it as simple as possible, because as a business owner,
it is a simple
exactly.
But my question to you, Nick, is if somebody wants to do all of what we talked about on their own, can they do it, or do they have to have a certain level of expertise, or no, they have to have a third party HelloTax to help them?
No, of course you can do it yourself. The only thing that you cannot do it without is the custom agent, because you're non-EU. But the thing is, now it's like with a lot of things, you can do it yourself, but of course, you know, it's hard. This is no, I mean, you have the option to do it yourself, regardless if you're non-EU or EU, but it just takes too much time, and time is money, you know, especially, let's just summarize now, you know, you're waiting for your stock to come and you'd like to do it yourself. You don't know how, you know, all the registration get delayed, you got suspended, you know, you cannot sell. What happens? You lose money. You know, Amazon penalizes you for this and that. So you have to decide which option you would like to choose. Save money, or actually pay much more money at the end. And this is why we're not telling you, okay, go and register in 10 markets. That's dumb. I mean, you should never do that. I would not recommend anybody, because when I was selling this, what we did, we establish one market, we test, and if it works, then we put stock there. You should never go all in. I mean, you should test, and this is why we have developed this project package to be as easy as possible, because if it's too hard, people give up. And obviously, if they give up, I mean, they don't accomplish anything in the end.
So Nick, for somebody who is thinking of expanding into a different marketplace, what would you say as an Amazon seller, as an e-commerce seller, where even if you stop now, but you have that experience, and as somebody who's working with HelloTax and so many other companies, you see e-commerce, is Amazon something that's going to last for a long time, or is it going to go away tomorrow?
No, of course, Amazon is the biggest player, biggest kid in the playground, so they're here to stay. Of course, other competitors are catching up, or at least they're trying. So the one thing is important. You should still go on Amazon because they're the biggest one, but still you need to diversify. Like you should never put all your eggs in one basket. That's for sure. And this is one. And my advice to any business owner is to actually, it's one my favorite quote: "You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take." So if you don't try, then you can say, okay, it might have worked, it might have not, but you will never know for sure. This is why we're providing a simple and cheap solution, because we're business owners first, and then like doing the VAT components. We think as business owners, not like as tax sellers. Tax sellers just think about numbers. We think how to make it easy, because if it's hard, people will give up.
They will stop.
Exactly.
Perfect. Make sure that you like this video, leave me a comment in the comment section below. And if you want to contact HelloTax, please use our code so you can get a special discount. I'll leave it on the screen right here, and we'll also leave it in the description box of this video. This is a code that can provide you with a special discount if you contact HelloTax on behalf of Amazon Sellers Society. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.